Hi everyone. So I've been getting a lot of messages on Instagram and Twitter asking about a lot of the things that I purchase for the products that I make. So I thought it would be cool to do my first haul and unboxing video for Vintage on Tap. So I've been collecting stuff for the last week and a half or so, just kind of putting it aside so I can show you guys all at once some of the things that I've been buying. A lot of the stuff that I buy, I try and go for sales or find them at thrift stores and swap meets and things like that. So I'm actually going to go over a little bit of the stuff that I got this past weekend. So I was out visiting my grandmother, my whole family got together, and where she lives is out in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of close to Central California. So when I go out to visit her, one of the things I really like to do is visit the one thrift store that's there. Nobody knows it's there. It's literally out in the mountains somewhere. So I was able to get some really cool stuff. So the first thing that I was able to find is this 1959 American Thread Company sweater book, and it's got a bunch of patterns, embroidery patterns, knitting patterns, crochet patterns, and even this really funny looking moppets design, so you can actually mop the floor in your kitchen with your feet. So I'm actually kind of excited to try this just because I've been wanting to knit sweaters a lot lately. I've kind of just been in the mood for it, so I figured I'd give this a shot. Next three things that I found were actually these vintage patterns, which the moment that I saw them, I grabbed them right away. Even though the size is not mine, that's not going to deter me from trying to figure out how to grade them up. So the first one is this Butterick 9477, which is actually kind of falling apart, but apparently it's from the 1960, I believe. It's a 1 yard Mrs. design, so there's that one. And then the second one is a Simplicity 4464, which is this really cool jacket slash blouse. It's not something I would normally wear, but I think it'd be kind of cool to make regardless, or even as a gift. And then the last pattern that I got was this, I believe it's probably from the 80s, Simplicity 5387, which 80s is not normally the decade that I like to wear clothes from, but I really love secretary blouses, so I actually kind of want to buy as many different patterns of secretary blouses as I can so I can make a bunch. I feel like I can never have enough of these guys. The last couple things that I got at this particular thrift store were a couple pairs of earrings, which I was able to get for $4 a pair, which are beautiful. These ones are very tiki and hibiscus styled, and I don't know, these ones kind of remind me of something my grandma would have worn, so I really love these ones. And my last thing that I bought, which I'm actually really happy with, is this vintage hat. It's actually in really good shape. They must have had it in a hat box because it doesn't even smell weird. Anyway, I got it for about $6, and it's cool because it's fitted on the top. I think it looks pretty great. Cool. So that's what I got when I went thrifting not too long ago. Right before I took off, I actually went to Joann's because they were having pattern sales, which is the only time that I buy patterns. And I like to just go with my list on my phone and I stock up and I just buy a bunch of patterns at the same time. So I got Butterick 6363, Butterick 5603, which I think is pretty cool. I've been seeing this one making the rounds online. It's very beautiful. Butterick 5556, which that collar looks so fun. And then I got a few Gertie patterns, which are actually a little bit, they're numbered differently than normal in their original release, but I think it's because they were doing special promotion, so the numbering is a little bit weird. But these are from the latest collection. And then I also picked up a couple of the vintage Vogues, which these ones are from the 60s, but I figured I should really start trying to play with making pants, so I figured I might as well pick up this vintage Vogue 9189, and then the top that went with it. Why not? And then the last thing I bought at Joann's was this swimwear lining, because my next project is going to be a bathing suit. This was actually pretty cheap. I think it was only $10 a yard at 40% off. So I got a couple yards of this. And then last but not least is the swimsuit fabric, which I've kept in its package just to make this video, even though I've been wanting to opening it so bad. So you guys will get to see it with me. Now, actually, luckily this fabric was shipped to me from this store on Etsy, which I wish I could pronounce because the letters are a little bit weird. But it's local here to California, so I was able to get this shipment within a couple of days. It's vintage from the 60s, and so the Etsy shop is KCHOOS, which I wish I knew how to pronounce, but they have a sign here that says, "Dear Etsy customer, thank you for purchasing from us. We appreciate your business and always strive for interesting and hard to find vintage items." So they also have a presence on eBay, it looks like. So I like how they wrapped it up really nicely. I love when fabric stores put it in this extra plastic. It just maintains better during shipment. And oh my gosh, it feels amazing. And it's so vibrant. That's gonna be a really cool swimsuit. And I was concerned about buying swimsuit fabric online without checking it out. It is a little bit see-through, which I'm happy with that I got the lining with. This one is 60 inches wide, and I bought 2 yards of it, so it's more than enough for the swimsuit that I need. It looks great, actually. Really like it. Really happy with this one. I actually forget how much a yard it was, but I think it's worth it. Whatever it was that I paid for it, I'm still happy with it, so yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my first haul and unboxing video. If you like what you saw, please comment, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Thanks.